Hello everyone. Welcome to this podcast episode provided by the Buddha's Practice Association of Australia. Today, we will jointly explore the profound principles of 6 knots untied, 1 vanishes, and the perfect penetration Dharma door. The Buddha uses the analogy of tying knots in an ornate scarf to reveal that the self-nature is fundamentally singular, but due to beginningless ignorance and delusive thinking, knots arise. The 6 roots, being the cause of samsara, are also the gate of liberation. By focusing right on the center of the knot and selecting a single root to eliminate its knot, one can progressively untie the knots, eliminate the phenomena of the dusts, and realize the emptiness of self, the liberation from phenomena, and the non-arising of both emptinesses, thereby perfectly penetrating and accessing the self-nature. 1. Tying knots in the ornate scarf. The Buddha uses the analogy of tying knots in an ornate scarf to elucidate how knots are formed and the way to liberation. Self-nature is fundamentally singular. Differences arise due to knots. The ornate scarf is originally one integral whole, but due to the tying, knots arise. This is similar to the pure self-nature, which, due to beginningless mental frenzy and delusion and the delusive arising of seeing and knowing, generates the dusts of phenomena, just as tired eyes produce illusory flowers in the sky. Within the clear and bright fundamental nature, disturbances arise without cause, generating the inverted flowers of mountains, rivers, earth, birth and death, and nirvana. The 6 roots are likewise formed in this way. The knot is the appearance of toil frenzy. Ananda clearly states that these knots are analogous to the appearances of toil frenzy, all arising from ignorance and delusive thinking. The key to untying the knots: if one does not know the fundamental source of the knot center, one can never untie it. The Buddha teaches that to untie a knot, one must not pull on the sides. One must strike right on the center of the knot, and it immediately disperses. 2. 6 knots untied, 1 vanishes. The Buddha reveals the essential point of the practice of 6 knots untied, 1 vanishes, stating that the 6 roots are both the root of the knots and the gate to liberation. 6 knots untied, 1 vanishes, is also like this. Although the 6 roots appear to be 6, they share the same source in the self-nature. Untying 1 knot causes all 6 knots to be undone, and even the one itself vanishes. Select a single root, eliminate the root's knot. The Buddha instructs, select one of the 6 roots in your mind. If the knot of the root is removed, the phenomena of the dusts will naturally cease. With the elimination of all delusions, what need is there to await what is not true? Cessation is body. By choosing one root and focusing on severing its karmic habits and afflictions, like pulling up the root of a tree, the dust phenomena naturally disappear, delusions are extinguished, and the self-nature manifests. Untying progressively. Untying the knots is not simultaneous, it requires gradual cultivation. First, one attains the emptiness of self, severing the ego clinging. Next, one accomplishes the liberation from phenomena, freeing oneself from the adherence to all dharmas. Finally, one achieves the non-arising of both emptinesses, realizing the endurance of non-arising. The Buddha teaches us that the 6 roots are like knots. By progressively untying them, the purity of one root leads to the purity of all 6, and even the one vanishes, revealing the perfect and complete self-nature. 3. The perfect penetration Dharma door. Although Ananda understood the principle of 1 vanishes when 6 are untied, he still did not comprehend the fundamental root of perfect penetration. The Buddha then guides 25 sages to share their experiences of perfect penetration, revealing the true meaning of this Dharma door. Meaning of perfect penetration. Perfect penetration means not following the flow of phenomena, realizing the self-nature, and perfectly accessing everything without obstruction. Experiences of the 25 sages. Kaundinya and the 5 bhikkhus entered through the Buddha's voice, turning the hearing back to hear the self-nature. Upanayada contemplated the impure forms. The white bones and minute dust returned to emptiness. With both emptiness and form non-existent, he realized that form is the self-nature, turning the contemplation back to contemplate the self-nature. Shungyen Bodhisattva entered through the aroma of incense, knowing the fragrance was neither wood nor emptiness, neither smoke nor fire. It came and went without adherence. With the mind extinguished, he developed wisdom without outflows, turning the smelling back to smell the self-nature. To be continued. For conclusion, entering the stream with one root, purifying the 6 roots. By selecting a route that is compatible with one's nature, practicing deeply, severing the clinging to the dust phenomena, and entering the stream to abide in the self-nature, all 6 roots will simultaneously become pure, achieving perfect penetration without obstruction. Thank you.